I just moved to Europe here, and look at this view. By the way, there's graffiti everywhere. It's crazy here in Europe, and it's about 3 weeks. 3 weeks here. I'm really loving it. I mean, architecture is just different. People are different. There's like all different kinds of languages spoken. It's crazy. I'm really liking it. And for me, I don't even speak Czech, so I'm coming in here only speaking English, and it's crazy. I mean, a very difficult language to learn, and I mean, people are outside. Unlike in America, there's like nobody. I mean, everybody's just playing video games. There's some guys filming there, right there. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful country. Cars are completely different. Roads made of rock. It's pretty crazy here. But the thing I really like about the thing I like most here about Europe, definitely the buildings. Definitely the buildings. It's so much different than America, but crazy. I'm actually walking home right now because I wore a jacket and it's like however many degrees, like it feels like about 70, but I can't really read Celsius yet. That's one thing you got to get used to here. But yeah, it's crazy too. I mean, when you look at billboards, signs, advertisements, it's all in Czech. All in Czech. Like nothing, I mean, like there's some things in English, and I'm really close to the German border too. So there's a lot of people that speak German, but it's pretty nuts here. Just looking at some of the buildings, and you could take taxis around here, but they're kind of expensive. I mean, cheaper than the US, but expensive here. Like everything here's super cheap compared to America. But I'm gonna go inside real quick, throw my jacket inside. I'll be right out. I'll show you guys a little bit around town, kind of how it's like here, but I'm liking it, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, I'm back outside here, and where I kind of left off was talking about some of the things that are pretty different here, like for instance, all the buildings, the roads, the cars, the people. But I just thought I'd kind of take a walk around and show you guys a little bit about what I'm talking about. I guess some of these cars, I guess you can see, those are a little weird. They're tiny cars. Actually, there's a couple Fords around here too, but see a lot of like there's this brand Skoda. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty popular here. And I'm actually gonna show you guys this building. It's this big church. I climbed all the way up there, and you can see it's pretty tall. Actually kind of impressive compared to the churches in America. I think it was like less than $1, like 20 Czech crowns. So yeah, I think $1 is like 22, 23 something right now for Czech crowns. But it's such a beautiful building, and at some point in one of my later videos I'll definitely take you guys up there. And it's called the Tower. I don't know if you can see the sign, Viej. Yeah, writing's completely different too, but yeah, I'll just kind of show you guys the front of it here. I'll walk around, but today I'll take you to a store, show you some things that I think are a little bit or quite different from America, and then here, down here, kind of towards the front of that church has some more buildings, and it's quite different, but it's pretty awesome actually. I don't if you ever have the opportunity, I mean, not to move, but to just come to Europe and check it out, tour it, visit, I definitely recommend it. It's it's only been 3 weeks for me, but it's definitely quite an experience that I definitely won't forget. And pretty soon here I'll be getting my visa so I can stay here. And if you want, I just put in the comments about maybe how you can get a visa here. It's different for all the European countries, I think. Like Czech, everything has to be completely in Czech, not in English, which is kind of difficult because you have to find a translator. But even then, it's like $20 to get a page translated, versus in America it was like $40 for the best rates that I could find. But here's the front of that church. It's actually pretty tall. I don't know if you can see it really in the video, but it's crazy. And again, here are all the buildings I was pointing to below earlier. And then again, some more graffiti, if you can see that. But yeah, thing I like a lot about here in Europe is I'm from Wisconsin, right? And mainly in Europe, they have a lot of good cheese. Okay, probably have some people making fun of me for that in the comments. A lot of cheese, a lot of good hearty food. It's so good. I don't think I've been disappointed once. Man, the food is just excellent. And in the Czech Republic, they eat a lot too. So being an American, that's a good thing, I guess. What else? Yeah, I think I'll go to a store and show you guys a little bit what it's kind of like. Again, here's some more of that view. But yeah, definitely, if you get a chance, come here. The weather right now, it's May, close to the end of May, so it's a little weird. Some days you have to kind of wear a jacket, and some days definitely don't want to wear a jacket. That's the thing too, is that if you're coming from Wisconsin, or I lived in Minnesota for a little while, it was kind of like that, where like one day it'd be super cold, one day it would be super hot. So that's one thing I guess I'm used to as well. But yeah, I'll let you guys go, and then I'll show you guys a little bit around town, and also go to a couple stores and show you what's different. Alright, so about probably a little under halfway here to that store I was talking about, but I wanted to tell you guys a little bit too about some of my experiences while I was on my way, is being an English speaker, right? You're taught that you pretty much have to learn Spanish and English in America, because those are the two top languages spoken there. But here in Europe, it's just a blur of languages. So being an English speaker, everybody thinks it's the same. I speak German. When I go to stores, they'll be like, you know, when they ask for money, they'll be like, eins, zwei, drei. And then I have to explain to them, you know, I speak English, mluvím anglicky, and that's crazy here. I'm trying to learn the language, but it's very difficult. I'm not so good at really learning languages, but kind of going here to Centrum, which is where a lot of shops are, and there's a lot of people here too, so it might be a little noisy, but yeah, so that's one thing, is everybody seems to think that being English, I speak German. When I was in Denmark for one of my connecting flights so that I could get here, everybody, man, I mean, everybody seemed to speak a little English, but I mean, they were speaking, Danish, I think is the main language there, or there was all kinds of languages. I didn't know anything, and then I had to ask people for help how to connect to the Wi-Fi. I couldn't figure that out, and so yeah, that was pretty crazy. But there's I guess more of the younger people seem to speak English here, which is kind of nice. But like I had mentioned, I'm right on the border of Czech and Germany, so it's mostly just Czech and German here in the Czech Republic. A lot of the older people seem to know Russian because they were, when they were growing up in schools, they were taught Russian because they were under Russian influence. I don't know the exact specifics, but if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure they were under Russian influence, Russian control for a little while, I believe, too, until that Berlin Wall came down. But yeah, almost to that store, and I'll let you guys know when I get there. Alright, so I'm in that store I was telling you guys about, and it's crazy. Look at this, for a pistachio chocolate bar, it's $73. I'm kidding. That's probably like $3 in American money, but no, the crazy thing is they're crazy about their alcohol. This is all just like wine, maybe some other kinds of alcohol, but what's even crazier, the amount of beer that they have, and I'll try to find that for you guys. because I don't know if you know, but in Czech, that's kind of where like beer came from, I guess. But they have this huge aisle just full of beer, and it's like you can get this for less than $1 American money, and that's pretty crazy. I don't know if it's any good or not. Less than $1, but there's some more expensive ones, some more famous ones too. But yeah, it's crazy. They also have like a lot of like snacks and food here. It's kind of like a mini Walmart. I'll show you guys some of that. If I go over here, some candy. I really like Czech candy here. But yeah, I don't even know what some of this is. Jojo, it's a big brand, I guess. I don't know. Fill up half the aisle. Some chocolates, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like a little mini Walmart. Maybe not as much variety and everything, but it's crazy getting used to this currency. I think that means sale. Akce? I don't know. I still can't even pronounce everything right. But yeah, I'm not really buying anything here. I'll show you guys up, some more stores and everything, but I just figured I'd walk across town just to show you guys a little bit. Be crazy. Alright guys, I'm back here. I'm actually in a park. It's kind of a nice little park. A lot of people walk through here, sit, kind of hang out. And, there's a lot of parks throughout Europe and Czech Republic. I'd imagine the rest of Europe as well. I've been to Germany and there's quite a bit of parks. But I'll kind of also, the one reason why I'm making this YouTube channel is I want to bring to you guys the experiences that I'm having. Me and my first time trying out new things here, maybe even like product reviews, not so much product, but maybe like food, drinks, things like that. And also what I came to this park here for is I kind of wanted to show you guys that even in a small city like this, well, it's not really small, it's like 30,000 I think. They seem to have like a lot of money, and they put it into like public transportation. A lot of people ride trains, buses. Most people just walk around everywhere, but they really put it into their parks too. It's really such a beautiful country. And another thing too I wanted to tell you guys about is my journey here. So I'm not going to tell you guys why I came here, because I want to kind of explain that in a different video. So that you guys gotta keep watching. But I wanted to kind of explain. So I came here to Czech Republic, in a city called Cheb, and it's talk about total immersion. I went from living actually in Wisconsin for most until I was 19. From Wisconsin, I ended up going to college for one semester in Minnesota, in a town called Rochester. So I went from Green Bay to Rochester. It's like Med City, I think. A lot of people know about Rochester because of their famous Mayo Clinic. And so then, yeah, and then the reason why I came here happened, and like I said, I'll explain that later in another video. Yeah, I mean, I worked about 6 months after I decided that I was going to move here, save up money, come here. And so I worked about 6 months, got some money together so that I could come out, and I worked my butt off. And then, so when I bought my ticket, I was looking for a really good deal, and I came across, I was on a website, Kiwi.com. Terrible experiences, by the way. I wouldn't recommend trying the website. But I ended up getting a really good deal on some tickets that were all connecting flights. So I went from Rochester. My family drove me up to Minneapolis, dropped me off at the airport, and that's where things got a little crazy, because it was my first time flying. I had like 4 or 5 different flights coming to Czech Republic. And what happened was, I go to check into security, and my ticket wouldn't scan, right? And my family had just left because I was started to go through security, and so it was really crazy because I was kind of freaking out. It was my first time flying. I didn't know what that meant, that my ticket wouldn't scan. I was like, is this a fake ticket that I bought? But what happened was I had to go get it printed out again, and then I came back and I went through security, and I was very surprised at how easy and flawless it is going through security. I mean, a lot of people freak out about the scanner or whatever that scans your body, but got to keep the country safe. So I mean, not so big of a compromise there. But yeah, security was so easy. I got through. I got on my plane. It took off. I was like, wow, I never flown before. My first time flying. I got a window seat. It was nice. So then I went to Minneapolis to Chicago, and I got really lucky because first time flying, going to O'Hare, and I was like, wow, I don't even know what terminal I have to be in. Got off the plane and I was exactly where I needed to be, so it worked out flawless. And then I had to hang around maybe for like an hour or two in Chicago, and then I went to I think it was Orlando. Yep, I went to Orlando, and keep in mind these were connecting flights, but not through all the same airlines. So I had to get my bags, check my bags every time, go through security every time, and that was quite an experience. But in Orlando, I had to hang out for like 8 or 9 hours, so that was pretty interesting. It's a big airport too, and so I relied on a few different people to help me find where I was going, but it was relatively easy. And then from Orlando, I had to go to Denmark. So I went from here, Minneapolis, Chicago, one of my favorite cities, down to Orlando, and then fly all the way back up to Denmark, which is above Germany. And Denmark's a pretty rich country. When I got out there, I was excited to get outside because I had like 8 or 9 hours to hang out there in Denmark. But I couldn't go outside at all because I had my bags, and I couldn't check my bags until about like 2 or 3 hours before my flight, I think. And so that kind of sucked. But I went outside for a little bit just to kind of check it out a little. But all I really got to see was a road with some kind of fancy Audis. So, sorry about that. My video actually stopped there. I was stopped by a man who was asking me for money, but I said I only speak English. So I asked him if he spoke English. I said "Mluvish anglicky," and he was just asking for money. So, but anyways, so yeah, I was hanging around in Denmark for a while. It's kind of cool. You meet these people in the airports, and I was like hanging out with this lady from, I think, gosh, it was some Asian country. It wasn't Philippines. It was maybe not somewhere down there. I don't remember exactly, but she was kind of old, and she was there visiting somebody in Denmark. But it's really cool. You meet a lot of people from all over the world. And so yeah, and then I hopped on a plane, and it was weird because it was like my first taste of Europe, and it was such a culture shock. And so I got on this plane, went to Prague in Czech Republic, and it was very kind of cool because again, I mentioned my first time flying and all these connecting flights, and I got a window seat, and it was like right when the sun was going down. So I flew from, it was really light, and all of a sudden it was nighttime, and you could see all the lights from all the cities. It was pretty beautiful. But yeah, so I finally made it to Czech Republic, and like a 2.5 3 hour car ride here to Cheb, and now I'm here, living here. So what I'll do now is I'll go back home, and I'll mention a couple other things to you guys, maybe more about this channel, more about why I created it, and a little bit more of why I am bringing these experiences to you guys. Talk about maybe a little bit what I want to do in the future. I already mentioned a little bit, a couple different topics, but I have a lot of good ideas I think a lot of people will really like. And so yeah, let me go home real quick. I'll kind of set up and explain a little bit more to you guys, but I'll be right back. Alright, so I kind of gave you guys a little bit of a taste for Europe and the Czech Republic, but the couple things that I wanted to elaborate on is I created this channel, one, so I can, so you guys can experience what I'm experiencing as an American or a foreigner in Europe, and also some of my ideas I touched on is maybe trying out some Czech things, giving like a review. And I want you guys to kind of decide that if you want me to try different foods, candies, drinks, you name it. Otherwise, if there's something that you guys want to see more in my videos, like different experiences, I actually have a castle in my backyard. That's pretty cool, so you can check that out. Or if you want to see that, let me know. Also, I was thinking about maybe like interviewing some Czech people on their thoughts on like maybe what America is like, or their thoughts on their own country and how we perceive it. So we can kind of go back and forth like that. So let me know if you want to see interviews with Czech people, me reviewing Czech products. Also, I kind of wanted to, other than the other experiences that I wanted to show you guys that we don't have in America, with the differences, I also want to kind of show you around other parts of Europe a little bit. I'm not really going to tell you exactly what's coming, but there might be some traveling done. If you have any questions though about maybe how they get around, what they do in their free time, more of like what Czech is about, any questions at all, just ask in the comments below. And also, the other thing too is if you follow me, I'll have my link from Instagram, Facebook, and my Snapchat down below as well in the description. So check those out. I'll also be posting a lot about Czech and the experiences too. So you'll kind of get to see the videos and a little bit of the social media as well. But yeah, like I said, any questions whatsoever, just put. Is there anything that you guys want to see more about Europe and the Czech Republic specifically, or just any small questions at all? Maybe like how to say a word in Czech, or maybe you have questions about how you can come here as well. I can also answer some of those. So just let me know in the comments, message me in some of my social media. And thanks again for watching. Please like this video and also subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video.